Hey guys, Internet Dude here. Hey, I'm in my shop again, and today I have a 2004 Pontiac Vibe in the shop, and I'm going to do an oil change on this car. So this procedure I'm about to show you should be the same for the Pontiac Vibe, the Toyota Matrix, and probably the Toyota Corolla. And this car has the 1.8 liter 4-cylinder engine. Alright, so before you begin, even before you get the car up on the ramps like I have here, you'll want to check your owner's manual, make sure you're buying the right products. So consult the owner's manual. It calls for 5W30 engine oil. The viscosity is important. Now it says here that it should meet the GM standard, blah, 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 whatever. Now this car has 271,000 kilometers, so I figure, the GM standard doesn't matter, but this seal here does. And the oil I picked is 100% synthetic Walmart oil, and it has the certification for gasoline engines. And then I picked up a Fram Extra Guard filter. Now whatever you do, don't buy the regular cheapo Frams that are all orange and they don't have that little black grippy spot, because those are complete trash. And even these are not the best filter, but they're a little better. I'm doing this oil change for free for a family member, and I know they're totally cool with all this. Also check that owner's manual to make sure you're buying enough quantity of oil. So this one is the code 8 1.8 liter engine, so I need 3.7 liters of oil. And good news, I am now YouTube certified master auto technician, so I'm fully qualified to show you this procedure. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to securely lift your vehicle. In my case, I have these ramps that I use. They're very convenient. They're usually just enough to get your car up so you can do simple things like this. If you're doing something complicated, that might not get your car up high enough. You could also just use a jack, like the one that's included, but make sure you use some jack stands if you use a jack, and consult your owner's manual to make sure you're putting the jacks in a nice safe position. So what I have here, in addition to the oil and the filter, is some other things you'll probably want also. You're probably going to want a drain pan. You probably want some shop towels, some disposable gloves. And then I have a 14mm socket with ratchet, and then a couple of tools to take off the old oil filter if it's really stuck on there. Okay, I forgot to mention, it's a good idea to have some piece of cardboard down there just to catch any drips. So in my case, the drain pan that has this funnel, it actually fits on the top of a 4-liter washer fluid jug, so I'm just going to screw this on there. And I already checked, and if I put that underneath, there's just barely room for the oil and for it to fit underneath the engine oil pan. So I think we'll be good to go using this, but otherwise I would just attach it here, and then it would drain in here, and then I'd drain it out later. But this should save me a step. We'll see. Okay, so once you get underneath, you'll be looking for this, which is your engine oil pan. And you come down to the back here, and you want to loosen this and remove it. And oil's just going to come gushing out, but probably won't be able to show you that exact step. We'll see what I can do. But this is how that's going to position in there. So I'm going to have to tilt it, get my arm in the way, undo that, and then kind of get out of the way. And then to the front of the engine here, just to show you, here's the oil filter, which we'll remove. But first we're going to drain the engine oil. Okay, so you can see it's just barely dripping there. I'm going to give it another minute. I just wanted to point out that there may be an oil drain plug gasket on there, so I can't quite tell from here without getting my fingers on it, but if that's a drain plug gasket, you want to make sure it's on there when you put your drain plug bolt back in. Okay, I moved the drain pan out of the way and I was able to determine that, yep, that is an oil drain plug gasket. So next step is to take your torque wrench. I found conflicting information. Some people say, oh, you need to torque it down to 18 pound-feet, and some say you need to torque it down to 27. So what I'm going to do is split the difference for now and just see how that feels. All right, so I've got my torque wrench set to 22.5. I'm just gonna see how that feels there. All right, felt good. It's okay once we're done, we're going to check for leaks anyway, but it felt like a good level of tightness. You certainly don't want to over torque that. So good news, I didn't even spill a drop on the cardboard yet. That funnel being really close with the jug there made a difference because there wasn't any splashing that you can sometimes get when your drain pan's down low. So next up, I'll reach up here and grab that, see if I can get the oil filter off by hand. Holy mackerel! So next up, I'm going to try this strap tool. It's basically like seatbelt material, and you wind it up around there and put it on your ratchet. Oh, I'll need the bigger ratchet for that. So you're not going to be able to see any of this, so I'll just show you right here. I didn't have a bigger ratchet with me, so I'm just going to use a adjustable wrench. So what you do is you take this strap and you put it around the filter while it's on the engine, and then you want to turn this in the same direction you'd normally loosen things. So you get that on there like that, and then you can use this, and that'll give you leverage. Actually, I'll show you this way. So if I'm turning this way, that turns the filter off. So I'm not going to show you that because you're not going to be able to see it, but that's how you would use this tool. Now I've got it loosened, so I'll remove it. This is where we're going to make the biggest mess. Just be ready for some oil to drip down. So next step's to take your new filter. Just put a little bit of oil on that gasket. And before you put that on, you want to look up there and see to make sure that the old gasket is not stuck on the engine. Kind of hard to see there, but you don't want to see another rubber gasket stuck on there. So now I will put a little bit of oil in. Well, actually you don't need to put oil in it. You can optionally fill it up with oil and then put it on, but it can be messier. So I'll put that up, and let's just take a look at the instructions here real quick. So it says to give it one full turn after it makes contact. Okay, so hardly any drips at all. There's the old filter. The handy dandy funnel on the jug worked very well. So I'll get this out of the way and just show you underneath. Alright, so I did have one drip on the floor, but that's not too bad. So I got under here, I sprayed it with a little bit of brake cleaner. We're going to come back and check for leaks once we start the engine, but I thought I'll just show you. Drain plug bolt and gasket in place. Oil filter tightened. All right, so we've got the drain plug in, we've got the oil filter reinstalled, the new one. Next up, come up here, remove the oil fill cap. Most of the time the oil fill caps will tell you the viscosity that you should be using anyway. Set that somewhere where we don't lose it. We'll use a funnel so we don't make a huge mess. And then, so the car takes 3.7 liters. I'm going to put in three and a bit. Oh yeah, and when you're pouring out of a big jug like this, you don't want to tip it in this direction because it's going to glug. You want to turn it to its side like this, or even back this way a little bit, and then pour. So I've added 3 point something. I don't know if it's enough, but I'm just going to take out the funnel, put that back. And since there's like at least 3 liters in the car, the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to take the car down off the ramps so we have a level surface, and then we can check the oil. Oh, one quick thing before I back the car off the ramps. I'm going to start the car and let it sit, let it idle for 10 seconds or so, and I'm going to look under for leaks before I take it off the ramps. Okay, there's no leaks, that's great. The next step is we let it sit for a few minutes. We're just going to check the oil level, see how close we are. You guys probably know how to check oil properly, but you want to wipe the dipstick off the first time you pull it out. Ignore that reading. Put it back in. Make sure it's all the way down. Pull it back out. Then take a look. So, I don't know if you can see that, but it's a little bit below this dot. So we need to add a bit more because we need to get it inside the range there between the dots. So what I'll do, you don't need to see that. I'll just continue adding a little bit, waiting a minute, checking it again, getting it to the appropriate level. While I'm here, I'm also going to take the time to check the other fluids and just general condition, the air filter, things like that. But that's pretty much covers it. Just make sure that you dispose of the used oil and filter properly. You don't want to just dump it out somewhere in an alley or something. There's usually recycling centers you can take the oil and filters to. So I hope this has helped. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I do a variety of automotive videos, not just Tesla. There's a lot of Tesla videos on my channel lately, but I will be doing some more like this when I have an opportunity. Thanks for watching.